Tell me more about your daddy issues.
That I have daddy issues. Yes. No, I do.
What's your favorite one?
Welcome to Cleveland, America. That is all. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome to Cleveland, America.
It's not a serious place.
Hello.
We have Annie sitting in today because Tommy is in New Jersey or
Rest
she
in
died or
peace.
something.
She's
Rest
not
in
dead.
peace, Thomas.
We'll
never forget you.
She might feel a little.
I feel like she feels like there's a lot of life inside of her.
Oh yes. Not real life. It's dead
Yeah.
life.
She might be vegan, but she's had plenty of gabagool this weekend.
Yeah.
I have questioned that
Come.
before. Is it actually being like? Are you vegan? If that happens, that's all.
I think it's because the ethicalness of making someone come. It is okay to, like if you're getting slave cum, I feel like that's not allowed for vegans.
That's the level of that's a person. A vegan that refuses to have sex because they think it's unethical towards animals is a person I want to stay as far away from me as humanly possible.
Yeah.
That just can't
Well,
be.
I think
that can't be
I think
really a
there's-
thing that. Oh, cheers.
I think it's more like if you're swallowing the cum, it's not vegan because it's biological product. But I feel like they're all right with that.
Whatever Tommy feels is veganism is what I subscribe to.
Mm-hmm.
I love her, so yes.
Yep.
Same.
I think she's
too.
gorgeous.
Where's the best? Yep.
I have some other issues about Tommy I'd like to use this episode to air.
No! She's perfect.
You know,
There's
first
nothing
of all,
wrong with her.
I didn't want to have to get into it about it, but
She's perfect.
yeah,
She is perfect.
She is.
What we
perfect.
need to do is an episode where you and Tommy are here together.
Ooh, I'd love
Yeah.
that.
I would
Keep
take
the
the day
microphone in
off.
your mouth. There you go. Yeah.
I
Not
would
in
take
my
the-
mouth.
Not in, but like at it. Yeah.
I would take the day off for that. Just
Or we just have Annie as a guest. We have enough microphones.
I think it just. I'll
Yeah.
sit over there in the corner
honestly,
and
yeah,
play
we'll
on my
just-
phone.
We'll let these two just do what they do, and we'll just watch.
Bill,
Would it,
why-
would it,
what
would
are you
it, would
arguing
it,
with
would
me
it
about
be the
this one?
reverse
Good point,
of
good
have,
point, yeah.
like, honestly, would it,
Very special episode. We'll do that one as the members only, but probably on Tommy's OnlyFans, not on my YouTube.
I was being like an old man drinker this weekend where I was in bed on Friday and Saturday by like 10 p.m. and Friday night I just took a sip of Jameson and diet and it just went all over my chest and I was like, it's gonna be an early night for you, boy.
Yeah.
I don't even feel drunk right now.
Literally,
that's when
I
the
text
girls
you
are
and
thirsty.
we're like, let's hang out, and then like 2 minutes later, he's like, no, I'm going home, and like I caught you for like 4 minutes here.
Yeah, dude, I don't
Old
even-
86, and
I-
you were just like, I gotta go.
I had to hit the
Yeah.
eject button because for just
But that's the thing, though, that makes it okay is to hit the eject button because there's so many people that don't hit that eject button, and then it becomes a problem. You go, oh, I can't get liquid into my mouth. I should probably go home.
with age comes
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
and were I a younger man, I probably would have stuck it out and been annoying to everyone around me.
Mm-hmm.
But anymore, my life is more than halfway over,
Yeah.
and the second I feel the urge to be in bed creep into my mind, or like,
Dude.
man, I'm ready to spend $68 on Uber Eats right now. Like, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what potential sex could be missing out on. The second I know I'm done for the evening, I vamoose.
That's why I like having a
Also-
situation where you can have sex before you go out, and then you
Yeah,
just
that's
like
the
go out with like
Those are the best people
Empty
in the world
balls.
that understand
Yeah.
that you have sex before you go do evening
Yeah.
things.
it's
Before
like,
you go
oh,
out
we're going to
eat.
dinner, but we're gonna fuck before dinner, and then go eat a big meal, and then then I'm not gonna be like, oh. And then if another round happens later that night, absolutely, let's do it. But
do-
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Speaking of dinner, I'm not going to name names, so it's not putting anyone front street. I was out with a friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
who gives me a fair amount of business, and instead of buying them like a year-end gift, I took them out to dinner. Like, hey, thanks for a good year. She happens to be female. We've been friends for a long time. So I'm at dinner at a nice restaurant. We're talking. Like, I put my phone upside down, and I stay engaged when I'm actually out to dinner with people because I don't want to be that dickhead that's buried
Just
in his
on the phone, yeah.
Right. So I don't
Speaking
check
of
my
which,
messages.
What's going on here? Oh,
Like, I don't check my messages for like an hour and a half. I get to my car, and of course, there's like a bunch of notifications. One of which is from somebody we know, and the text just goes, "So do you just like you do the no shirt under the hoodie thing when you're out on dates? Like that's the thing you do?" And this was like sent like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I like it. And then the next text was also, and feel free, maybe we cut this, maybe we don't.
No, I like it.
The next
I don't
text
give a
was
fuck.
The next text was also, they go, also don't come over here. I'm out with my sugar daddy right now.
we won't use names, but yeah.
I kind of love that for them.
Yeah.
I go, first of all, I'm not on a date. It's a friend of mine. It's a business dinner. Second of all, I would never fuck up your hustle like that, ma'am.
Or
Also,
man. No, it's a man.
Miss?
Yeah, it's a Miss Lady.
Miss.
She's a Miss Lady.
it's a Miss
Well,
Lady.
if anything, it's Sugar Baby.
Sugar baby. Anyways, yeah, so I had a good laugh about that. And then what made it funnier was, well, I can't go into that. Anyways, it was
Yeah.
it was a funny sitcom-like experience for sure.
Did you have a laugh track?
I should wish. I mean, my whole last year just feels like Seinfeld, like fucking new metal Seinfeld with my dating life or lack thereof.
Seinfeld rules.
Well, like, because Seinfeld was 40-ish when he was on the show.
It was
He
like
was?
late 30s.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
So-
think
that
he
makes
was
sense.
40 when the show ended.
And he was always just going on dates, and they always ended hysterically or
Yeah.
like fell flat on their face and
Or
hysterical.
yeah, like he'd have something like,
It's
it's
like unthinkable to a Midwestern audience in the '90s to be like in your late 30s and 40s and still just casually dating. You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
that's
But
like a very New York or LA thing.
literally now.
Yeah.
Even in the Midwest.
Yeah.
That's for Tommy.
It's made its way to
I'm
the
not gonna do
Midwest,
that.
but it was
You don't.
one of those things where it was unheard of at the time. Because, like, especially like 80s and 90s, you got married when you were 21, and that was old. And then, like,
If you didn't hit when you're by your 25, your life was over.
yeah, like
in
you,
the
if,
90s.
like a 30-year-old that was never married, you're like, what
What
the
is
fuck is
wrong
wrong
Are
with
you
that
gay?
person? Yeah.
Although I will say that if you live in a rural area, I feel like that still kind of applies.
Yeah, I think so.
That like if you're not 21 and married, like I literally, so where I once spent 5 years
Yeah.
growing up, that still kind of applies. And I have a friend, and like she and her roommate, who is another friend of mine, they literally live together, and people are like, oh my gosh, they have to be something because they're 21 and not married. What?
Yeah, it's like good. They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be married. But
Yeah,
now
like,
they
all
are
you're-
both
all you're
happily
doing-
married.
Yeah,
to
to each other.
No.
Exactly.
no one should get married. No one under the age of 52
I think you'd
should
end
ever
it
get
right
married.
there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You should wait until you're 63 to get married.
I'm
Is
just-
what
I
I feel
think
like.
I did it okay.
You did
I'm
You
pretty sure I
are,
did it okay.
yeah. I'm,
There
I'm-
are
I'm-
exceptions to the
I'm
rules.
fucking around, but yeah.
There are exceptions to the rules, but like,
Marriages that have gone right. Annie's, Tommy's.
Tommy's.
That's about it. Sorry.
yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah,
you're divorced. Bumping Mike, divorced.
Oh no, yeah, like so in the lost episode, like Bill was talking about his divorce, and I was like, yeah, people. I don't have a lot of mysteries or like secrets of my life, but I just don't talk about my divorce much.
Yeah.
So when I talk to people and I said I was married, they just go, "What?"
Yeah.
They're like,
I had-
someone put up with you for how long? And then I was like, almost 4 years. And they go,
And you weren't even the problem.
we're not going into
Oh,
that.
you won't get into that.
No, that
Should I retell
listen,
my story?
I mean, I don't want to go
Yeah.
back into it just because I don't feel like we're trying to like do the same thing all over again. But no, you talked about how your Kendra had an emotional friend towards the end. And
Yeah. So
that
basically, but it was an emotional friend that I brought into our lives because I'm so fucking funny.
you brought the wolf
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the fucking room.
Basically, if you've ever seen the movie Goosebumps with where Jack Black plays R.L. Stine and all his creations come to life and wreak havoc on his life, that's basically what I did because I created a character that was a home-wrecking ladies' man, and then that the guy that is now my ex-wife's boyfriend, and they've been together since we got divorced, knows who she is because he mimicked the home-wrecking ladies man that I created on Twitter, and then we became friends, and then he became friends with my wife, and then and now they're together. So,
No, yeah.
so it's a weird situation. But
I feel like
we're
you
all
should
good.
just write a book like that. You should have like something that comes to life. Well, okay,
Call it
you
Two
did.
Cokes.
You already did it. So I mean, it has to be like round two. So you've got to make it like this one, like more, maybe
I mean, I could-
factual, and then like have it come to life.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
all right, I can do that.
with
And I'll be able to do that if you guys subscribe to my members channel on YouTube so I can make enough money to write books and screenplays because we still got our screenplay that is so
We got a couple.
fucking
We got a
good.
couple.
We got the one.
We had the
that's-
one pool day where we
the one pool
literally
day we have and we have a notes app that
We
I go
launched this
through and
cinematic universe.
I posted like a little snippet of that on Threads and my buddy was like, delete this now, write that script. It's so fucking funny.
That's when you know you got something good when you don't.
Yeah, like-
when you don't want to post it.
yeah,
Can I
like-
make a cameo?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, we can put you
We'll
in.
make that work.
We're not going to be in it, by the way.
No?
You can be in it,
Oh,
but
you
we're not
better.
actors.
Oh yeah, like so going,
Yeah.
but
I didn't say I was.
Yeah, but I mean, you bring a lot to the screen.
Thank you. There's a lot of
Yeah.
screen to be had.
I'm just out of funny ways to say that Annie's got great boobs,
Yeah,
and so
Annie
we're
does have
just
great boobs.
yeah, like
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
and
Thank
everything
you.
else also, by the way. But yeah, it's
I have a great personality. Remember that.
and people always ask me
Yeah.
why I wear this because I go, I put the energy out I want back.
Yeah. Dress for the job you want.
I put the man into manifesting,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
You also have a great tattoo, so that makes perfect sense.
Can I fucking I went to the well and I never do this.
Yeah.
I talked about my own tattoos to riz up a chick the other night, and I was
Okay.
so
Where was-
Okay.
I
Where was
so
this?
embarrassed.
Was this Friday when you
No.
spilled drinks on yourself?
No, this was another night. But
That's when they're thirsty. I'm just saying.
I don't do bits to talk. Like I had no way in to talk to this chick, and she was tattooed. So that I go, I have to ask you a question, and like I was like gonna get very serious, and she goes, "What's up?" And she goes, "What do all your tattoos mean?" Because she was covered,
Yeah.
and she kind of looked at me. She goes, and she didn't quite get it
Pick
was
up
a
on the
gag.
joke, yeah.
So she started talking about. She goes, "Well, actually, I want to like get like this stuff removed." And that's when I go, "Oh." But I was like,
it was a bit, lady.
I was like, no, I weaved my way, and I was fucking head movement.
All right, which tattoo did you talk up?
No, I was with a buddy of mine who, and of course I'm dressed like an asshole like I am now, and he goes, look at this guy, and he like rips down my fucking,
oh.
and I go,
exposing
yeah,
it all.
I got wolves tattooed on my chest, and then 20 seconds after it was finished, I realized I got the inside us all as two wolves meme on my chest, which I like. Which I
Is
like
that what
these
they are? I
tattoos.
actually never knew what they were.
A bunch of wolves.
Okay, yeah.
It's a whole bunch of
yeah,
wolves.
Yeah.
No, I
I thought it was a butterfly.
I love this, but I have a meme on my
Butterfly.
tits.
No.
Butterfly.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I was just
You're
like,
my sugar, my
yes.
baby.
Come, my lady. Come, my lady. You're my butterfly.
No, she won't. Not if that's a butterfly.
She ain't coming home with you. She ain't coming at all. No, and then
she's leaving.
and then I forgot people actually sometimes like to talk about their tattoos, and then I was kind of venturing into the bit I do. I didn't do that bit, but I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, sometimes people really just want to talk about their tattoos.
Dude,
I never want to, but then I was like, whatever.
I'll say that I'm pretty good at dates, like when I would go on dates, and because I have such an interesting backstory, but I would always wait and let the girls tell their story and like listen to them and ask them questions and like show interest and lie.
That's not very nice.
I'm kidding.
Do what I do
being
best.
I'm being a little stinker right now, but I would just I would wait my turn basically, and then when I get into it, like the phases of my life where it's like raised Mormon, excommunicated from the Mormon Church.
Naughty.
Yeah, then I get to the point where it's like then I have these my ex-wife and the stepkids and how I'm their dad and stuff like that, and by the time I get to like current day, they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah.
The
Your
lore
boy's
of
got-
Squire.
and then I get the like point like, and I had a mental breakdown, and I moved in with my friend's grandma for a year and a half, so I could kind of get because I was in a sad place where I like wasn't gonna kill myself, but I was like as close as I had been in a while, and
You got to
I'm
tell
sorry
them
I didn't give you a really good hug.
you haven't
Yeah.
met being in your when you're in your 40s. You haven't lived if you haven't somehow at least towed the line of being like, I kind of get it. Like I
Yeah.
kind of understand why people check out.
yeah.
And I was there.
yeah.
I mean, for the same reasons I'm sure you were there.
Just,
I got close. I got close.
Financially was in a bad place, and mentally in a bad place, and Cody Cooper's grandma took me in for a year and a half, and She's the best, and
Paula is the best.
she is the best. And
Saint Paula.
yeah, and the reason we were so close is because we did a podcast for a year together, where she told me all her stories about how she came over from England when she was 3. Like,
You're both British. You both have British roots.
We have British roots, and
Does she still have an accent?
she's got a little twinge of one, just like a
love
twinge.
that.
You gotta really listen into it. It's not pronounced.
Yeah, it's not pronounced, but it's there. And then like a little bit of a lilt, and then she got married real young to a piece of shit, and like hit him with a hammer, and that fucking rules. Yeah. Dude, that one, Grandma had some dark episodes.
That?
Yeah, like.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of figuring out why Cody's got that dog in him.
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's from Grandma. Grandma's
Yeah.
a badass, and then she's like, "I'm never gonna let another man take advantage of me like this." And she like had like kind of boyfriends here and there, but like never really committed to another man. And just as like lived her life for herself from her like after she got away from that guy and moved on, she's like just like I'm gonna like she built a great family. She's got great kids. She's got great grandkids. She's got great great grandkids, and she's
Wow.
like loved by so many people.
She's also still very young, all things considered.
Yeah, she's young and
for
like
the life
and
that she
like
has lived.
and she's pretty with it still. I mean, she can't fucking work at television to save her life, but that's what I'm for. Is me and Cody will fucking fix all the technical stuff. But
I
she,
think
but
once
the
you
good
get-
thing is she knows if someone sends her a message on Facebook, don't click the link, and that's like.
It's half the battle.
I can't
Half
get that
the
through
battle.
to so many people's
is
head,
so
but
good.
she gets it.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very sweet lady.
Yeah, we went to.
I was seeing Cody, and I saw Cody popped up not too long ago. I forget where.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah, I haven't
talk,
seen him in a
every
minute.
week or two, and
Isn't he getting back up doing mics?
No,
Thought you were talking him into that or something.
I'm trying to. He's going through a tough time too. I don't want to put his stuff out there. Right
Sure,
now.
no need to.
I haven't met
I'll
him
put my
yet.
shit out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going back to my divorce, like it was a team effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It always is.
There was no bad guys or girls in it. It just was. I don't talk about it much because there's a whole other party
Yeah.
to consider, and it's
Yeah.
also not very interesting.
No, and that's like
You know what I
kinda,
mean?
like what with mine. So like because I created this character, this and the guy that is now my ex-wife's boyfriend, and they've been living together for 10 years, was friends with Cody Cooper. And like that's how I got to know him, because Cody had just started doing comedy, and so I got to know Cody, and I got to know this guy, and he would come out to shows, and then he became friends with me, and then he became friends with my wife, and then I wasn't around as much, and they were together a lot, and it was like an emotional cheating, the gay kind, the gay way to cheat.
No fluids are swapped. Just
Yeah,
feelings.
just feelings.
But,
and
okay, what is the difference between being friends with a guy and emotionally cheating?
I think it's when you are, like, there's feelings there that, like, we're just waiting for this other person to check out. Like,
Okay.
it was, like,
All right.
it was, and, like, going, like, so
I think it's
the night I
way-
knew it was over, this was, I ate an edible, thanks Tim Cornette, that sent me to outer space. It was the Super Bowl. My ex-wife had just gotten home from a trip to L.A., and she was like, spend the night with me. And I was like, I got to go watch the Super Bowl. I got to talk about this shit tomorrow on the radio. And I got too high, tried to poop at my friend's house, couldn't poop because I was high, and I thought I had to poop but didn't. You ever been that high? It's bad.
No.
And then
No,
it's
really
yeah,
haven't.
No,
it was a
I've
bad
never been
bad
that
time. And then
edging to shit.
yeah,
is-
it was, dude. It was
That's a
brutal.
next level
It was brutal.
nightmare.
And I thought I was gone for like 2 hours, and I was gone for like
4
maybe 4
minutes.
minutes.
I have been there.
Exactly.
I've been there. Mhm. I have
And
been
then
there.
that is as close to hell
Yeah.
as I could ever get. Not to jump at it, but when you're high and not the fun kind of high, and you're like, whoa, man, it's like this has to be like fucking.
Yeah.
You know, I smoked at 6. It's got to be like 10 p.m. and it's like 6:07.
Yeah.
Like it's like
And
you're
I-
like, oh.
When you
So-
do that on the toilet, though.
Yeah, when you do it on the toilet, it feels like an eternity, and like it feels,
And you get paranoid because like
yeah.
someone else probably has to go.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
Yeah, you hear every noise. You're like, what's that? Who needs this?
Have you ever had somebody like everyone leave though, and you're like, holy shit, that was a really long time.
Yeah, that was. It was definitely
at my
and that's the thing is because sometimes it is a really long time.
So like the bathroom at my studio has like everyone on my floor shares like bathrooms, you know, so it's like a public bathroom and it has automatic lighting. So you walk in, the lights turn on, and I'll know I'm really taking my time crapping when the lights turn off.
Yeah.
And like
when the lights go out and when I'm shitting.
you literally like, and it's like this building was built like in 1783 or something crazy. So it's like you have to stand up, open the stall door, and walk out into the bathroom. So they turn back on, just with my dick hanging out. It's like so. It's basically like just like me with my shirt on and my pants or my ankles in the pitch black.
That's amazing.
I go. If someone walks in right now, I'm gonna absolutely kill myself, and everyone will understand. Like no one, it's the one forgivable suicide. Sorry, go on.
So anyway,
Sorry.
Back to your story.
I get back to my house and I'm like, hey, my ex-wife's there, and the guy is there, they're watching a movie, and I'm like, hey, I'm like in a bad place right now. I'm gonna go upstairs and lay down, and she's like, okay, let me know if you need anything. And I was like, you don't want to come like make sure I'm okay. You're just gonna I was like. And so I was like, "Oh, this is over." Like, she wants to be with him, not with me. And like that's when I say that's the emotional connection that they had, where she wanted to be with him more than she wanted to be with me. Yeah. And I saw it, and so we took that path, and it's worked out for the best. We get along well, and we're like, you know, there was times where I was emotional about it and resented it, and like. That's been gone for a long time because I'm not going to hang on to that stuff because he's not a bad guy. It just
it went the way it went.
It went the way it went.
What do you like? You know, 11 years later, it's like at this point, if you're going to hang on to that, then you're the bad guy.
Then I'm the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like I won't pretend like I don't have some breakups that I took me a few years to really let go. Quote
right.
unquote,
I'm not saying I got over it like that night.
But you know,
like,
if entire 3 presidents have happened since then, it's kind of like, all right, man, like.
Yeah.
You really got to work on that.
Although I have to say, I absolutely love your children.
Oh.
I don't know one of them,
I'm
but
glad
I know
you do, 'cause
2
I don't.
of the 3. Sorry, that was 4. I'm really bad at math.
No, they're the best.
That's
I love
why
them too. I love
cut
them too.
hair.
Yeah.
That's why I cut hair.
Someone's got to.
Yeah.
But no, I do. I absolutely, truly love 2 of your 3 children.
Well, you just haven't met Fallon.
No, I haven't met Fallon. I have not.
It'd be funny if you met Fallon, be like, Fallon, we got to talk, but you know.
Well, Fallon's the one that is now moving into. She's going to be a stepmom because her boyfriend has a child, and like he's getting full custody because the kid's mom passed away when she was she's only 4 now, but she, so custody was kind of split between him and her grandma from her mom's side, and now he's getting full custody. And so like I met her for the first time yesterday, and just the sweetest little kid, and like I'm like
Bill's
moving
a
into
grandpa.
moving into like
grandpa
grandpa's
right
space now, and I love that. And I took Kara and her daughter to meet her too, and like it was just such a cute, wholesome day. But at one point Kara's like, "What is her mom in the picture?" And I was like, "No, she passed away." And she's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Not today."
This is a new development.
And I still don't even know the you know, not that I would even share it anyway. But
I don't
like,
think it matters.
Yeah. But the kid is so sweet, and we like played some games and gave her a like stuffed unicorn as like a prize that we got at Dave & Buster's, and like her reaction to getting that is one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And like I just can't wait to spend more time with this kid and get to know her and like, you know, be her Poompa.
Well, congrats,
I know.
buddy.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Poompa
I'm happy for
Bill.
you.
I love
Poompa
it.
Bill.
Poompa Bill. That's what my kids called their grandpa.
Poompa.
Yeah. And that
Not umlautes in it.
No. And
Not a Swedish situation.
when Fallon invited me to meet her, she's like, "Hey, do you want to come?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a grandpa," and she's like, "You're gonna be Poompa," and I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "You are Poompa," and I was like, "Oh, that rules." I love that. Like that's like.
Do you have a tear?
Oh yeah, I was
Okay.
not a tear. I was bawling.
Okay.
I was bawling when she invited me to this, and I was also like, "Yeah, it's cute."
Yeah.
I have my like sinister, dirty, you know, maybe sometimes drug-induced life, but I also have a very wholesome life. I have what they call balance.
It's a
Someone's got to have it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I like to have that balance.
I live far out of the reach of the light of God anymore.
Dude, I was doing a live on YouTube last night, and the way that people spam comments on lives with God stuff, and there's someone talking about how they're like, "Are you an atheist?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an atheist," and they're like, "So what's it like for your life to not have any meaning?" I'm like,
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm like, and like they try to like group all atheists together, and they're like, "What do you think happens when you die?" I'm like, "I don't care, because I'll be
go on to the
dead."
next one.
You go on to the next one, whatever it may be. I'm not worried about it. I'm just having a good time here, and I like this and that. But they're like, without believing in some
Mythical
some
bearded guy
god or
in
whatever.
the clouds.
They're like, your life doesn't have meaning. I'm like, fuck you, dude. That's not how
I don't
life
like.
works.
My thing is always this, and I believe I'm an agnostic person, but I'm always like, do you think Jesus walked around and did edgelord contrarian shit to everyone
No.
he came across? No,
No.
man, he would fucking hate you.
It's also
like he would fucking hate seeing people walk around trying to sell his bullshit
and that's what I got into.
It's
Is
not
like,
bullshit.
and I was like, I like Jesus' teachings. I like love one another, treat people with respect. treat
It's
people
got
how-
nothing
yeah.
to do with the
Yeah,
band. It's
yeah.
got everything to do with the fans.
Yeah,
Are you
exactly.
religious, Annie?
also those people.
No, because the way you responded, I don't like.
What's Jimmy have to say?
Sorry. Also, those people who like do that, like spam comments like that about God, your life has no meaning. It's like they're clearly more cynical than you. It's
Yeah.
like just people just trolling, and it's like you don't even believe
Right, and like,
what you're
but
saying.
I always treat them like with nice. Like I treat them with like, and then like because I'm not combative with them, they actually like are like, oh okay, like,
Yeah, because they can't get the reaction
Yeah,
they
'cause
want
I'm not
out
giving
of
what
you.
they want,
It's like
yeah.
some edgelord in his
Yeah.
mom's basement,
Yeah.
probably. I never believe people are sincere when they talk
Right,
about God on the
yeah.
internet.
I'm kind of.
I don't think anyone's sincere about anything you talk about on the internet. But no, Annie, are you religious? That's not a loaded question. It is.
No, I've got 2 points to that. One, to Jimmy's point is I'm pretty sure they're probably on their knees on like Saturday night, and then they get up and they dress all high and mighty on Sunday, and then they go to church.
Yeah.
1, 2.
You mean gay?
No.
Oh, I thought you meant they were like gay on Saturday, on their knees on Saturday, sucking
Well,
dick,
no,
and then they go like, but as long as I repent on Sunday.
Okay, they can suck a dick if they wanted to.
Of course,
or
that's-
they
yeah.
could, or they could lick a pussy. It all
Yeah.
just matters.
Ugh. That's where pee comes out in babies.
Well, that ran that one in the ground.
But no, I believe that there is a higher being, but I am not religious by any means. I think that once
You're more spiritual.
Yes.
You believe in a lot of like. You definitely believe in an afterlife. You
Yeah.
believe in something beyond coincidence and stuff
Right.
like that. Which again, like, I'm always open to that stuff, but I just like. None of it has ever happened to me. Like when people tell me, like you tell me stuff, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy." I've never had anything like that happen to me, so I can't have like. But it doesn't mean I don't believe what you've experienced.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it hasn't happened to me.
I think like the Ram Dass like spiritual path makes the most sense to me, and I think it's if
Wait,
I'm
what was
being
that?
Ram Dass was
What's
like he was like a guru that
okay.
passed away a few years ago, but he was like a guy.
Did you
that,
take his course? Is it like how to be a man thanks to Ram Dass?
Yeah, he's like he looks like Andy Elliott, the car sales guy. No, he was the classic bald up top,
Yeah.
white hair, beard.
Yeah.
He took acid like in the 70s, and he went on like these spiritual retreats like in the Himalayas, and he just would talk about the infinite soul and how we're just spiritual beings visiting humanity through.
Well, that's
like
the thing.
it.
Like I was a lot more of a.
It's like the
this
least-
is how things are. This is the only like reality we have. But then as you learn more and like the more you learn, the more you know you don't know, and you go, oh, well, I can't speak in absolutes because I have no idea of knowing exactly, because even like our perception of color is just our brain saying, I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like.
It's a subjective
Yeah.
individual experience.
Like when you look at black, that's the absent.
How do you
of
know
light.
that? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
so
telling
like
you, yeah.
behind you, like how do I know that?
Well, those
that-
are all white.
They are multicolored. And I
It's like,
love
how is
it.
that the
No,
pink?
I
that-
love
I'm talking about the patrons of his bar.
No, they are.
Let's focus on the spirituality, motherfucker.
That's
No,
my
like,
favorite is color.
I'm
by
like
the
a
way.
fan of. I'm a big. I get way big into spirituality right up to where it starts to feel like they want you to be in a cult.
Right.
You know, like
right. Well, so they're like,
No.
and now we just need you to show up here, give me your credit card number. What are you gonna
Like
do?
if I told the story about how I think I told the story about how I paid to learn Transcendental meditation.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of an awesome story. Tell it to Annie.
So like basically like
I want to look down on you.
going back.
No, we
So
don't
like
do that.
let me.
You think Pants is smart? Well, he's actually a fucking idiot.
No, he's not.
I don't think she ever thought that.
Let's-
but
No,
yeah.
he licked a little sip of the juice, maybe.
So like yeah, like back to like I was at a point in my life where I was as depressed as I've ever been. I wouldn't say it was suicidal, but we
But
were
you're in
like,
a low spot. Yeah.
How I didn't end up in a cult or an alt-right guy
Yeah.
storming the Capitol on January 6th is wild to me because I was at a
I'm glad you
point
didn't.
mentally and emotionally where it was grave.
Yeah.
So I was like any celebrity that I'd ever that to me had any level of substance, like Howard Stern, David Lynch, Paul McCartney, whatever. They all talked about TM.
Yep.
And I never saw any shitheads talking about Transcendental meditation. It was always people that had actual stuff to offer.
Yeah.
So then I got a deal. There was a discount to go learn the Transcendental meditation method,
Okay.
which is where I go, this feels like a scam. Why do I have to pay to learn a mantra? But I was so desperate to
For
feel
something, yeah.
feelings of
Yeah.
any sort.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought what I needed to do in my life was really get in touch with myself again. So I go to like this place in Lakewood, and I walk in, and it looks like a dude that ran the Dharma Initiative from Lost. He's got a full head of white hair.
No.
He's got the Marshall Applewhite. Like, can you get a camera on me real quick? He's got this look, and he doesn't blink at all, and he's wearing a khaki suit with a black turtleneck underneath.
I feel like I need to look away.
And I was like, like looking back, I just was so lost. I was not pun not intended. I was sitting there in this place. I was the only person in there. I go, I want to learn. I was like, I really just feel lost. And he goes, okay, well, would you like to watch a video about the TM method? And I go, sure. So he takes me back to a room behind the store that he inhabited. And he puts a VHS tape in a CRT.
What year was this?
This was 2012.
2012. Way
past
VHS era. Like a
the
DVD
beige-
you could allow.
This-
a VHS is bananas in 2012.
VHS
Yeah.
CRT TV
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah.
13 inches.
Yeah.
I feel
And
this
so
is a
like
movie.
it's like 3 rows of chairs, and I'm the only one in there. And he plays the video, and it looks like some Dharma Initiative shit. You learn about the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who is like the godfather of the Transcendental
Yes.
meditation movement. And it's like this super cool.
Can I stop you real
Yeah.
quick? Now, if you want to impress an alt girl that's like 21, you do this, but with like snow dogs. You'd be like, oh, you never seen, or like just any like movie on VHS, and you bring them back to your house, and you're like, see if you can work this VHS player, as I used to do with my record player, and be like, hey, play a record, play whatever you want, but
I
you
was like,
gotta work
yeah.
it. And
I was like waiting.
that's
like,
a solid move, and it worked a
And
lot of
rewind it
times.
when you're
go
done
back to the
with it.
well. Yeah. I just have a dachshund that serves the same purpose.
Whoopsie
but,
does a good job too, but it was.
Thanks, Harvey.
But I didn't have Whoopsie when I was like I've been. It doesn't matter.
So like he like runs me through. I literally go for like 4 or 5 days straight, and I take these seminars, and he would like talk to me about it, and it was literally just me and him in this dark room behind a storefront, and he would be talking to me, and he goes, "Would you like to hear more?" And I would go, "Yes," and that was like that for 2 hours a day, and he goes, "All right, are you ready for the ceremony?" And I was like, "Yes." So finally, it came time for him to imprint me with my mantra. So he goes to me, he goes, "I need you to bring a couple things." He goes, "If you're not a very religious or ceremonial person, it's not a very long ceremony, but it is a very beautiful moment. But I need you to bring a gourd, I need you to bring some flowers, and I need you to bring a white handkerchief." And I was like, this guy's definitely going to touch my dick. And I'm not going to want him to do it. But I was like this, I go, bet. So then I show up for the ceremony, And again, it's just me and him.
Yeah.
And I just was like, and I go, I'm going to end up like murdering the president or something on some Manchurian candidate shit.
Stuff, yeah.
Where I was like, he's going to brainwash me at some point. But I was so sad, I didn't like care. So then he takes me to a room behind the storefront.
Did he put that gourd
Are
in your
you
butt?
now under? Are you
It's
now
the
underground?
size of a fucking broom closet.
You're not underground. You're
No, we're still
Got
on
it.
just the first
Okay.
floor. But it's a tiny room. And then in my head, I go, if he touches me, I am going to choke him to death. I will fight for my life. And then so he, nothing happened. It actually was just a nice ceremony.
Yeah.
He imprinted this mantra on me. And then on my merry way, I went towards to try to find enlightenment, And
So he's actually sincere.
Do you?
yeah, the whole thing, I just,
Do you
because I
remember
think.
Can we
the
have him on the
mantra?
podcast?
Yeah. What's that?
Can we have him on?
He probably come out. I mean, yeah.
He's
To-
like, hey,
to-
dude, you're fucking up the cult thing. You're supposed to actually.
No, to be clear, like nothing was malicious about
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing was very harmless, and
Yeah.
it's like if you believe that spending $900 to learn a mantra as opposed to $1,500, you don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Nothing bad came of my life, but what I learned was my fat ass was just sitting around too much doing meditative shit as it was, and I just needed to actually work out more.
Yeah.
Like when I started working out and
He's
moving
like,
around,
you're
I felt,
meditating too much.
I'm not trying to go Rogan here,
Yeah.
but I actually only got out of my head when I started working out and walking and just not being on my
That
phone all the time.
serotonin. That
Yeah,
serotonin
Yeah,
level. Yeah.
But I did find value in it. Like
That's
and
good. So
I
it's-
love that
it's-
for you.
So
I
overall,
love
it
that for
actually
you.
was a good experience.
it was to
Yeah.
reiterate, I'm not advocating or condemning transcendental meditation. It worked for me. It at least gave me a hilarious story, but it wasn't culty.
Yeah.
They do retreats and I'll get emails where they want you to go out and take trips, and I'm not doing that. But still, at no point did they aggressively pursue me to
No,
try
it
to
actually
like,
sounds pretty okay.
yeah, it wasn't Heaven's Gate shit.
I'm-
But it just presented
I'm
it
very-
presented up front to be so fucking that.
I'm really glad to know that wasn't the case, because as you're saying this, that they're taking you back, I was like, as long as it's not behind like a adult movie store and he's not going underground,
I would have
think
done
we're
it.
okay.
I mean, at that point in my life, I would have tried it. I was like, I'm not a drugs
If it was a
guy.
hot chick with big boobs, I'd been like, yeah, let's go wherever we go. Yeah,
I mean, I do that all the time.
really.
That's how I
the
come
dumb shit
in.
I do. For
That's
them
how I
is
come in
crazy.
communion with the universe in a
Yeah.
different way. But I mean, I think if I
Is
think
that
about
her stripper name?
communion,
Communion.
CUMM, communion.
No, more like Funyuns, but like come apostrophe you apostrophe yun. Come you yun.
There's something there, ladies of Hustler, that I'm sure you all listen to the show.
Yeah.
No, but I think
They don't listen to
spirituality,
anyone.
and I'm not trying to get very, very heavy and deep, but just to finish a thought, I think if I'm being honest with myself, I just believe in the spiritual, infinite nature of the soul, because the idea of just the lights turning off when you die,
No.
and that being it,
No,
I
that's
cannot
not it.
reconcile
No, that's
myself
not
with that being a reality.
No, that's not.
I don't. I can't.
Yeah, I agree.
I can.
Call it fear. Call it fear.
I can be,
Yeah.
the lights go out and
I don't like. I don't understand. Like athletes get talked to about their legacy and shit, and the ego in me is kind of just like, why the fuck do you care if anyone's talking about you after you're dead? You're not around to enjoy that.
I don't care if
It's an
anybody's
ego
talking
thing.
about me after I leave the room.
Yeah, like
give
it's
a
like
fuck.
it's like that's 1,000,000% just an ego thing. Like it's like cool if like the idea that maybe 50 years from now someone remembers me,
Right.
great. But
Yeah.
guess what?
Like, listen, Walter Payton's one of the best football players of all time, but he dead, and there's nothing he can do about that, and that's.
But we're
sucks.
still talking about him.
Yeah, we
Gotta
are, but it
enj-
doesn't like
gotta enjoy
doesn't
yourself while
help
you're here.
him be alive, and it doesn't help him. In
No.
whatever's next.
And let's hope that his kids and his
Yeah.
grandkids and his spirit is doing awesome things.
I hope so. I hope so. He's a good guy. All right. Thank you guys for this is a weird one, but I like
Heavy.
where it went. Yeah,
I felt good. I feel good
I
about
love
it.
I love it. But thank you guys for coming and
Annie,
thanks for
thank
watching.
you
Thank
for
yes, bringing
for all
me-
that you have brought to
Yeah.
the show today.
Oh, we forgot
My
the jumping
boobies.
jacks. I guess we'll do that another.
All right,
episode.
next
Yeah.
episode.
But
you'll have to come back.
Thank you so much. Well, you and Tommy together when
Yes.
I feel like we need
That's
to do
the
this
episode
smash
I'm gonna
up.
take
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. But thank you for coming to Cleveland, America.
It is not a serious place.
Bye.
Bye.